I'd like to start by reviewing three major water system projects that we're in the middle of. The first is our water plant control building. This project is basically complete or nearly complete. The contractor is now working on punch list items. We'll have some of our people that'll move into the building in September, and our operations people will move in when the AV and SCADA systems have also been completed. The cost of this portion is estimated at about $7.5 million. The second project is the drilling of new water wells. A total of 10 new wells will be accomplished at this time. On 3 of the sites, the final production wells have been drilled. At the other 7, it either involves a test hole or near the production well phase. The contractor is Hydro Resources Mid-Continent, and the estimated cost of these wells is about $9.6 million. These 10 wells should be completed sometime early in 2022. Just as a reminder, we also plan to bid out another well package in the near future as we acquire additional sites and get additional permits. The primary goal of the well project is to increase water production by about 5 million gallons a day and thereby eliminate the need for purchasing water from Oklahoma City, which would result in an annual savings to us of about $1 million a year. The third area is a water treatment plant construction. You might remember we talked about this a couple of years ago, and at that time, because the bids for the water plant came in so much higher than what we had budgeted for, we rejected the bids and divided them into 3 phases. That adjustment allowed us to stay within the identified rate increases, and it also helped us with our future cash flow. The first phase of those 3 phases is about 50% complete, and it mainly consists of processing equipment and infrastructure for the processing of the lime sludge that's generated during the treatment process. Other improvements are being constructed that will help get ready for the last 2 phases of construction, including the majority of our security improvements as well. The contractor for this project is Gracelawn Heavy Construction, and the estimated cost of this phase is around $38 million. The estimated cost of all 3 phases is estimated at $300 million. The anticipated completion date for the first phase is in late summer of next year. And I think it's important to remind everybody that every time we talk about these projects, we have to keep this in front of everyone. Please remember that all of these improvements are identified in the revised Water Master Plan update that was unanimously approved by the City Council a year ago. The document has always been available on the city's website for anyone from the public that wants to take a look at what these projects entail. The control building and the water plant construction improvements are part of the massive construction project that is occurring east of the dam at Arcadia Lake, south of 2nd and Post Road. And one other thing I think we need to remind our citizens of, and that is that the major water and sewer infrastructure improvements we are pursuing, it is not unique to Edmond. Many other cities in the metro area are doing the same thing, and in fact, I think Oklahoma City is looking at a price tag of $1.5 to $2 billion, I think. So anyway, many other cities are having to do the same types of projects. We probably got out a little bit in front of some of what the other cities are doing, but these projects are not unique to the city. They are expensive, but they're critical for our long-term growth and our ability to be proactive in the future. The second item is an update on the expansion of Gracelawn Cemetery. Our city-owned and operated cemetery was founded in 1895. This particular project encompasses 7 acres, and it will provide us with 25 years of additional inventory. The expansion area will have more of a park-like feel, including options such as a columbaria, which is a place to store cremated remains, and a committal shelter, which will allow people to have internment services away from the actual grave site. Completion of this project has been delayed, as have many others throughout the country, due to the construction materials supply chain issues related to COVID. But this project should be completed next month. By early September, there will be an announcement concerning how plots and niches can be purchased by the public. The cost of this project for the cemetery expansion is $3.2 million, with the funding coming from the 2017 repurposed capital improvement sales tax. And the last item is an update on our sales and use taxes. The numbers for these critical revenue sources continues to be encouraging, and now this is our second monthly check of the current fiscal year. Sales tax collections were up about 3.9% for the month over last year, and cumulatively 6.3% after 2 months. That compares to a 3.25 budget projection, very favorably. Use tax revenue increased 25% for the month over last year, and cumulatively 15.8% after 2 months, compared to a 10% annual budget projection. Again, very good numbers. And our combined collections for sales and use taxes are up 8.4% from last year. So good news on our sales and use taxes.